Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, due to several requests, I'll be showing you how to make Flappy Bird, the most irritating bird on the planet. My phone has been very close to taking trips to Wall Pound City thanks to this game, and my high score's still pitiful. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool, light grey, white wool, red, orange, and finally yellow wool. You may also want to grab a bed as well, although this isn't going to take us very long. So once you've got all of your materials and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to make it right here. You're going to want to start out with a row of 5 black wool in a row on the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this starts the age-old debate for me. Shall we start on the left or the right-hand side? 90% of the time I start on the left. I think we're going to have to go right for Flappy Bird. So coming over to the right side of our row of 5, you're going to want to do an upright diagonal. You then want to extend that diagonal out to the right by 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, giving us a row of 5 black wool suspended in midair. What you then want to do on top of that row of 5 is do a row of red wool equal in length to the row of black below it, so a row of 5. What you then want to do, to the right of the row of 5 red wool that you've just placed, you're just going to want to place a single black block, and then place a black block on top of that black. What you can then do is just do a row of black on top of the row of red, giving you something which should look a little bit like that. What you then want to do, to the left of the row of black that you should have just placed, you're just going to want to place a single red block, like so. What you then want to do is take out your black wool and place a black beneath, to the left of, and on top of that single red block that you should have placed. What you then want to do, on top of this, I'm going to guesstimate, row of 6 black that we have here, you're just going to want to do a row of red on top of it. Like that. What you then want to do is take out your black wool and place a black block to the right of that red row. Like that. And then, similarly to what we've been doing for the past minute, you're going to want to do a row of black on top of the row of red, giving us something which should look like that. And once you've done that, you've successfully completed the beak. Pause that if necessary. Let's move on to the next part. So coming to the left side of the row that you should have just placed, from this most left block, you're going to want to do an up left diagonal. You're then going to want to do another up left diagonal, and this time you're going to want to place 2 blocks on top of the diagonal, giving you something which should look like that. What you then want to do is an upright diagonal from this row 3 that you should have just formed. You then want to place a single black block on top of that upright diagonal. What you then want to do from that block that you should have just placed on top of the diagonal, you're going to want to go to the right by 2. You then want to do 3 bottom right diagonals, so 1, 2, 3, and from that third diagonal you're just going to want to go down by 2, linking what you've just made back to Flappy Bird's beak. So, in fact I'll get you a little bit of a closer view. So pause that if necessary. That is Flappy Bird's eye. Once you've done that, we can continue. So from this point we are pretty much halfway done, and I don't know why, but at halfway points I always feel compelled to start making from the other side, so that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So coming down to where we started, this initial row of 5 here, starting from the left hand side this time, you're going to want to do an up left diagonal. Then you're going to want to go left by 1 from that diagonal. What you then want to do from that left block that you should have placed is another up left diagonal. You then want to place a block on top of that and then go to the right of that block by 2, so 1, 2, giving us something which should look like that. What you then want to do, coming back up to where we just placed 2 blocks going right, you're going to want to do 2 upright diagonals, so 1, 2. On top of the second diagonal, you're going to want to place a block on top of it. Then you're going to want to do 2 up left diagonals, so 1, 2. From the second up left diagonal, you're going to want to go to the left by 3, so 1, 2, 3. What you then want to do is a bottom left diagonal, and from that diagonal you're going to want to go down by 2. So 1, 2. What you then want to do from that block that you've just placed is a bottom right diagonal, connecting everything back together. And that, I was just about to show you the whole thing there, but I'll show you this little section first, of course. And that is the little section that we've just completed, and that is actually Flappy Bird's wing. Pause that if necessary. Let's move on. So we're almost done at this point, and all we have to do is make Flappy Bird's back. So on top of this row of 4 that we have here, the top of his wing, you're going to want to, from the right, be on the second block in, so this block right here, and you're just going to want to place a black block on top of there, like that. What you then want to do is an upright diagonal from that block, followed by a block going right of that diagonal, like so. What you then want to do is another upright diagonal from that right block, and then you just want to go to the right by 2, linking everything together and giving us the lifeless shell of Flappy Bird. So that's what you want to have so far. That is the entire outline done. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can start colouring it in. And I feel as though we're going to start with the eye section first, just because it's creeping me out a little bit. So starting with this section right here, just above the beak, we're first of all going to add in the pupil. So take out your white wool and place a single white block in that position, right there. And I can't really give you precise verbal instructions in regards to colouring this in, because I'll just start tripping over my words a little too much, so just use your eyes and you will be perfectly fine, I promise. So place that single white block right there. After you've placed that, you're just going to want to place 2 black wool directly on top of it, like so, and that is Flappy Bird's pupil. You'll know if you've placed it correctly because the pupil will connect to the outer part of the eye diagonally. After you've done that, you're going to want to take out your light grey wool and place 1 light grey wool here and 2 light grey wool here, giving you something which should look like that. Once you've done that, you can then fill in the rest of the eye with white wool. So I'm going to do exactly that. And once you've done that, it should look a little something like that. And that is what the eye will look like once it's completed. So I'll get a little bit closer. So pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can start splashing a little more colour around, and since we've got the white out, we may as well fill in the rest of the sections that we need to with white. So coming up to the upper back section right here, you're just going to want to do 2 white here and 3 white here. In those positions, so just tucked in between the wing and the back, and then the upper back near the eye there, so just a 2 and a 3, tracing along the bottom of the black sections. Pause that if necessary. That's the only white that is in the middle section of Flappy Bird. The next white that we have to do is inside the wing, and it's actually going to be easier if we do it this way around. You're going to want to take out your yellow wool, and inside this little wing section here, an indescribable shape really, you're going to want to place 3 yellow on the bottom. You're just going to want to place a yellow on this position and in this position, giving you something which should look like that. Then, after you've placed your yellow, you're just going to want to fill the rest of the wing in with white wool, giving you something which should look like that. And more so, the whole of our creation should, so far, look like this. So now, all we have to do is fill in the middle section. So coming down to the bottom of our pixel art, you're going to want to take out your orange wool, and you're going to want to fill in the first 3 rows where we can with orange. So 1, 2, 3. And that's what I mean by filling in the first 3 rows where we can. Just fill those sections in with orange, as I said, in the first 3 rows. After you've placed your orange, you can then feel free to just fill in the rest of it with yellow, giving you something which should look like that. And let me take off the UI since we've finished. So that is Flappy Bird in his, hers, its entirety. That's the entire outline done. That's Flappy Bird coloured in. Alright, so here we are with my originals. I only have 4 of them. I only tried out 4 different colour combinations. And I couldn't exactly go too crazy with the colour schemes. I mean, let's be honest here, there's not really enough room to go crazy. And as I said, I just wanted multiples of them, just to see which colours, in my opinion, looked the best. And to be honest with you, I'd probably go with the yellow and blue. I'd probably tie those. They're my two favourites. However, you know, it's all subjective. It's up to you. Whichever you like the most, you like the most. So let me give you a little quick view of all four of them, and then I'll give you another wide shot, and then we can end. So that's the original, plain Jane. This is the blue one, my second idea. Pretty nice, I like it. Here's the green one. Not a particular fan, kind of looks like a duck. And here we are. The most beautiful out of the four, the pink one. And I'll just give you another wide shot. I always like making multiples of stuff, to be honest with you. I always like tampering with the colours. I always like having them next to each other. Always makes worlds a lot more interesting. So there you go. I'd probably consider making more than one. Throw them next to each other. Maybe have them do a couple of crazy things. Maybe, I don't know, make one of them get hit by a meteor. Have one lowered into a volcano. Put one in a shark tank. I don't know. The game's infuriating enough. I'd want to exact some sort of minuscule revenge against them. So there you go. That is the video over and done with. I hope this was in some sort of way useful to you. I hope it was easy enough to make, easy enough to follow. Thanks for watching, and see ya. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.